Hello everybody, myself Jyoti and this is third lecture on physics of semiconductors and today's topic is electrical conductivity. So today we are going to talk about what happens when we apply electric field to the intrinsic or pure semiconductor. Suppose I have an intrinsic or pure semiconductor and I apply electric field in the positive x direction. Now as I am applying electric field in the positive x direction, because of the applied electric field, electron receive energy, and because of the energy received by electron, there is a drift velocity of electrons in the negative x direction. Now electrons are moving in the negative x direction, therefore a current will flow in the positive x direction, because we know that the direction of flow of electron and direction of current, they are opposite. This means that positive current flows in the positive x direction, and this field, it also imposes a drift velocity in the positive direction to the random movement of holes as well. So positive charge is also carried by the holes in the positive x direction. So the picture looks like this, that electrons are moving in one direction and at the same time holes are also moving in the opposite direction to the flow of electrons. So in case of an intrinsic semiconductor, we have two charge carriers, electrons as well as holes, and total current in intrinsic semiconductor, it is the sum of current because of the free electrons and current because of the holes. Now let us define a term which is very important in here, that is mobility. So when we define mobility, it is basically the drift velocity per unit electric field. Now in case of ideal intrinsic semiconductor, we determine mobility in terms of scattering of electrons by lattice vibrations as well. But when the temperature is very low, we know that lattice vibrations keys or they are very less. In that case, the mobility is determined by scattering of electrons because of the impurity atom which is may be present or defects which are present in the crystal. So basically there are two types of carriers in the intrinsic semiconductor, electron and holes. And if we have to measure the specific conductance of the intrinsic semiconductor, it will be sum of conductivity due to free electron and conductivity due to hole. So let us basically we are doing all this exercise to find out the energy gap of the intrinsic semiconductor. So let's do it. Okay. So electrical conductivity, it is sum of electrical conductivity because of electrons and electrical conductivity because of holes. So we know the formula for electrical conductivity. It is given by N E mu E, where mu E is the mobility of the electrons, plus electrical conductivity for due to holes, it will be P E mu P, where mu P, it is the mobility because of the holes. Since for intrinsic semiconductor we have N, it is equals to P, it is equals to Ni. So we can write the same formula as sigma I is equals to Nie. Instead of N and P, we wrote Ni, and we took Ni common, as E also can be taken common. So inside the bracket we will get mu E plus mu P. So suppose this is equation 1. Now we know that mu, that is mobility, it is proportional, inversely proportional to T raised to 3 by 2. Or I can say it is proportional to T raised to minus 1.5. Directly proportional to T raised to minus 1.5. So I can write down mu E as alpha T raised to minus 1.5 and mu P as beta T raised to minus 1.5. So if I add this two, I will get mu E plus mu P is equals to alpha plus beta. I can take T raised to minus 1.5 common. Suppose alpha plus beta, it is nothing but gamma. I'll get gamma T raised to minus 1.5. So in equation 1, instead of mu E plus mu P, I can write gamma T raised to minus 1.5. So that equation 1 becomes sigma I, it is equals to Nie, and I replaced mu E plus mu P by this term. So that I'm getting gamma T raised to minus 1.5. Or If I rearrange, I can write gamma E Ni T raised to minus 3 by 2. So minus 1.5, it is nothing but minus 3 by 2. You just keep this in mind. Now, don't get confused as I'm writing minus 1.5. Now we know that Ni, this formula we have learned in the earlier lecture. So we know that the charge carriers in case of intrinsic semiconductor, it is given by the formula Ni. It is equals to C T raised to 3 by 2 exponential minus Eg upon 2 kBt. You will have to remember this formula. Okay. So do remember this formula, otherwise you cannot solve this expression. So Ni is C T raised to 3 by 2 exponential minus Eg upon 2 kBt. So I can substitute this value. Instead of Ni, I will write down this value, and gamma T raised to minus 3 by 2, that remains same. Now T raised to 3 by 2, T raised to minus 3 by 2, these two terms will get cancelled. So I will get gamma C E exponential minus Eg upon 2 kBt. Suppose gamma Ce, this is a new constant B. I can write it as a B exponential minus Eg upon 2 kBt. So what I got is sigma I, it is equals to B. Sigma I is equals to B exponential minus Eg upon 2 kBt. This is conductivity. We know that conductivity and resistivity, they are reciprocal of each other. So if I try to find out resistivity, I just have to take reciprocal of this. So rho I, reciprocal of B is 1 by B, and reciprocal of exponential minus Eg upon 2 kBt, it will be exponential Eg upon 2 kBt. Just sign will change. So that is how I got exponential Eg upon 2 kBt upon B. 1 by B, suppose it is another constant A, so I can write rho I is equals to A exponential Eg upon 2 kBt. Taking log of both sides, I will get log rho I is equals to log of this whole term. It is nothing but log A into B. Log A into B formula is log A plus log B. So that this formula I have applied over here. So I'm getting log A plus log of exponential Eg upon 2 kBt. Log and exponential, they are complementary to each other, so they will cancel, and I will simply get log A plus Eg upon 2 kBt. So log rho I, it is equals to log A plus Eg upon 2 kBt. Okay. So log rho I is equals to, I will write down this term first, Eg upon 2 kBt plus log A. Now this equation 2, it suggests us a method of determining the energy gap of an intrinsic semiconductor. Using this, we can find out how. So what we can do is we can plot, we can measure intrinsic resistivity of the material at various temperatures. We can plot, this is 1 by T. So we can plot a log of rho I for various temperatures 1 by T, and we will get such kind of a graph, which we can find out the slope of this line, and it will be nothing but Eg upon 2 kBt. So log rho I is equals to Eg upon 2 kBt plus log A. So this the slope of the curve is Eg upon 2 kBt, and hence the energy gap can be determined using this expression. It is simple equation of line log rho I, y is equals to mx plus c, that way. Okay. So there are two important things which you should know. So germanium and silicon, they have energy band gap of the order of 0.72 and 1.2 electron volt respectively. This you have to remember. And second thing is, for germanium with a gap of 0.75 electron volt, the conductivity at room temperature doubles in every 15 degrees Celsius, and for silicon with a gap of 1.12 electron volt, the conductivity doubles in 10 degrees Celsius. Okay, and this shows that how sensitive the semiconductors are to temperature changes. Every 10 degrees Celsius rise in temperature, the conductivity gets double for silicon, and for germanium it gets double every 15 degrees Celsius change in temperature. Okay, so this is all about electrical conductivity. Thank you so much.